Hello, my name is Carly Jo Laughery and my partner is Bridget O'Malley. We will be discussing behavior-specific praise. I will introduce this practice as well as define, provide examples and non-examples, as well as point out some key takeaways from two different studies, and then Bridget will take over and discuss another point from two different studies, as well as the implications for the practice and some suggestions for future research. During the class day, there are many different things that can hinder the classroom environment, such as an assembly, an announcement, activities, or just overall poor behavior within the classroom that results in a negative environment. So it's important that teachers are able to have a strategy that keeps students on task and engaging in a positive learning environment. So a positive strategy in which teachers are able to gain control over students in the classroom as well as maintain a positive environment is behavior-specific praise. This is verbal comments immediately following a desired behavior so that the students know that they are doing something acceptable. Behavior-specific praise, or BSP, is a classroom management strategy that promotes a positive classroom environment and reinforces desirable student behaviors. So if a student is displaying an acceptable behavior, the teacher would directly praise the student for whatever it is that he or she is doing by saying and stating exactly what the behavior is. So during reading instruction where students would sit around on the carpet with their legs crossed, the expectation is that their hands are in their laps, they're looking at the teacher, they're not talking while anyone else is talking. A non-example of behavior-specific praise in this situation would be if a teacher just says to the student displaying all of the perfect behavior, "Good job." Now, the student who you are saying good job to may not know that they are showing the perfect behavior. The students around that student may not know that he or she is showing the perfect behavior. So, an example of behavior-specific praise would be to say, "I really like the way that you are sitting with your legs crossed, hands in your lap, and you have your eyes on the teacher." Then after you say that to the student who is acting a different way than everyone else, the students might pick up on that and recognize that if they want to get positive feedback and positive recognition from the teacher, they should probably be doing what that student is doing, demonstrating the desirable behavior of the teacher, what is expected of them. A point made from one of the studies is that a positive classroom environment comes from behavior-specific praise. So a study conducted by Markles and Ridden focuses on how the assistance of technology enhances behavior-specific praise. And that can promote the overall environment of the classroom because through the use of technology, in this case an Apple Watch, the teachers are able to be alerted every so often to remind themselves that they shouldn't be focusing on the negative. They should be focusing on the positive, looking around the classroom to see who's showing that good desired behavior, and the teacher would act upon that and say, "I love the way that you are working so hard on your assignment," or "I love the way that you're not talking while anyone else is talking." So instead of the teacher disciplining or yelling at the child for talking or not doing their assignment in front of the classroom, they would be notified to keep their focus on the positive and what the students are doing right. Then people around them will notice what they should be doing as well. In the second study, it shows that positive classroom environment is also a factor of behavior-specific praise. The students are motivated and aware of the expectations placed upon them within the classroom setting because the teacher does not have to raise his or her voice, but they provide the student with that specific feedback, positive feedback of what exactly they are doing that is correct. So when focusing on the acceptable behaviors, the teachers continue to positively reinforce and specifically praise the desired behaviors that are being executed within the classroom. This probably makes the students feel really good about themselves when they finally understand what they need to be doing and get that feedback and build that relationship with their teacher because they are doing what's expected of them. Now Bridget will take away with another point.
BSP helps increase desired behaviors. When teachers give specific feedback to students, it helps foster self-confidence in the students as well as facilitate a partnership between teachers and students. In order to eliminate negative behaviors inside the classroom, teachers need professional development to be able to realize what exactly needs to be achieved. The information also indicates that the less an instructor reproaches the students in the classroom, the less violent behavior will occur. As teachers demonstrate the students' approval, the students are more likely than if they were reprimanded for an undesired behavior to maintain the approved behavior. The on task desired behavior improves as teachers increase the number of times they integrate and use BSP within the classroom. So, these are the three main implications for practice of BSP. The first main implication is technological usage. This is vital because teachers will self monitor and ensure that students are positively praised on the basis of the individual behaviors that are desired. The second main implication is promoting self confidence. The students would feel more inspired and encouraged to continue the demonstration of appropriate conduct by concentrating on the positive attitudes and acts displayed by each student. Promoting self confidence at such a young age is so important to avoid feelings of insecurity in the classroom settings. Students should feel confident in their personality and academics to ensure the best learning experience. Lastly, the third main implication is that it helps instill a positive classroom environment. The overall classroom atmosphere would be more positive rather than negative, since the students would feel self confident and motivated to proceed with actions of acceptable conduct. Having this positive learning environment would give students a safe space where they feel as though they can be their authentic selves since there is no judgment. Now we have some future directions for practice. So, a future direction for research could be on the effects of BSP between different grade levels and age groups. The majority of the studies show one specific grade level per study and discuss how it is beneficial to that specific grade. However, instead of focusing only on one grade level per study, it would be beneficial for all educators if the study was expanded. Therefore, having more information on its effects throughout the grades would have been helpful to analyze. Focusing on content rather than the number of praise statements could be beneficial for future study as well. The frequency of BSP used in the classroom is the subject of almost all of the studies conducted on BSP. Researchers should now concentrate on the content of praise statements, such as which kinds of words should be used in a declaration of praise and which declarations of praise are more successful than others. This is critical because not only can teachers regularly use BSP in the classroom, they need to be aware of the most appropriate statements to apply to student behaviors. Therefore, researchers should look into how often is too often to be using BSP. They should really look into how BSP could be seen as a distraction during instruction in the classroom. Another question that they might have is how much is too much before BSP becomes ineffective? So, in conclusion, behavioral issues typically start to develop in kids before entering school, but when targeted ineffectively, harmful behaviors can have a direct impact on teachers and the classroom. Teachers should learn to effectively incorporate behavioral specific praise statements in both special ed and comprehensive classrooms in order to minimize the behavior issues occurring in the classroom. BSP helps by decreasing undesired behaviors, creating a positive learning environment, and allowing students to gain a more personal connection with the teacher. BSP is crucial because it truly builds the student up, allowing for them to have more self confidence. Overall, BSP is an effective positive strategy that teachers are able to use to gain control of the students in the classroom. Results have proven how effective it can be, therefore, it should be more visible in the classrooms today. And then we have our bibliography that Carly and I both just combined all the sources that we had used. Thank you so much for your time and for listening.